In the meantime, I would request all the honourable members to be seated, and a copy of the Governor's address will be circulated to all. I would also like to inform the House that our Honourable Governor is slightly indisposed, so there will be a slight delay in his arrival by about 10 minutes. But I will request all the members to be seated and go through the Governor's address in the meantime. Now may I request the Honorable Governor of Meghalaya to kindly address the House.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable members of Meghalaya State Legislative Assembly, a very good morning to you all. Noi kubli ya fi baroha, nosimong, pikolon, namgipa, salam ko, one Chengoska. Before I commence my speech, I am very sorry I cannot come by walk today. It is never in the history of my life I was not able to walk. But the first time yesterday something happened, and because of that problem, I was supposed to come by wheelchair to attend the first session. Very sorry. It gives me immense pleasure and privilege to address this august House for the first time on its first sitting for the year 2025. On this occasion, I extend my warmest greetings and best wishes to you all as we continue our ambitious journey to transfer Meghalaya into a $10 billion economy by 2028. We recognize this moment as an opportunity to reaffirm our collective commitment to the development of our great state. Today, we reiterate our constitutional duty to work together towards the brighter future for the people of Meghalaya. Let us unite in our pursuit of progress, driven by our shared vision for a prosperous and thriving Meghalaya. This House has an outstanding legacy for maintaining the highest standards of parliamentary decorum, debate and discussion. I would urge the honourable members to carry forward this tradition, which we are all proud of it. The government envisages a Meghalaya which caters to the distinct needs of ambitions for the local communities. To achieve this, the state is building a development model that embodies the Meghalayan spirit, one of collaboration, bold action and innovation. The government is developing a framework which seamlessly integrates traditional knowledge with modern innovation to achieve scale and impact. The government is dedicated to driving holistic growth in Meghalaya, showcasing its rich culture and enhancing service for citizens. We have made a significant advance in the first year, introducing innovative initiatives like CM Connect and Hello Meghalaya. These efforts have leveraged technology to help put Meghalaya's vibrant culture heritage in the spotlight and ensure effective governance of our citizens. Improvement in sectors like roads, power, water supply, investment promotion, IT, tourism and agriculture will drive the economic growth in the state. Intervention in the field of healthcare, education, livelihood, generation, livelihood generation, social security, and citizen-centric governance will ensure holistic welfare of every citizen. I will now enumerate the policy and programs being implemented by the various departments of the state government. The state government first objective is to promote peace, security, and well-being of citizens. During the last year, the overall law and order situation in the state remained peaceful. The successful conduct of the Lok Sabha election in 2024 and the district council election in 2025 was ensured through the effective measures taken by the district administration and police. As written speech is here, written speech is already placed on the table of the House. So most of the points are already in front of the honorable members. So I request all the honorable members to consider it as deemed read. Honorable members, I highlighted some of the many achievements of the state government over the last year. These achievements have been possible through collaborative model and development involving all the stakeholders. I will now conclude my address with the hope that the points I have raised will be deliberated upon by the August House. Kuble, Mitela, Jai Hind, thanks to all of you.
We thank the Honorable Governor of Meghalaya, who has been pleased to deliver his speech. Now, a tea party has been arranged in honor of the Honorable Governor in the Assembly Hall annexing. All the honorable members and senior officers are cordially invited to join the tea party. After the tea party, a group photograph will be taken with the Honorable Governor in the Assembly compound. Separate tea party arrangement has also been made for the officials on duty and media persons in the Assembly compound pandal. The House will now adjourn till 11:45. I call this House to order again. Before we come to the next item, I would like to inform the House that I have received a motion of thanks to the Governor's address submitted by Sri Sosthenes Sotun MLA and seconded by Sri Nujorki Sungo MLA and both the Chief Whip and the Government Deputy Chief Whip respectively. The mover of the motion of thanks, Sri Sosthenes Sotun, may kindly move, please.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the members of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly assembled in this session are deeply grateful to the Honorable Governor of Meghalaya for the address which he has been pleased to deliver this August House on this date, the 28th February 2025. Thank you, sir.
Now, Sri Nujorki Sungo to second the motion of that. Thanks.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I second the motion of thanks moved by the Government Chief Whip, sir.
I would request the opposition bench to submit an amendment to the motion of thanks, if any, to the Assembly Secretariat till 4 p.m. on 28th February 2025. Now we come to item number 3, report of the Business Advisory Committee. I am to report that I called a meeting of the Business Advisory Committee in my office chamber on the 6th February 2025 to settle the calendar for the budget session 2025. The meeting was attended by Sri Preston Tungsong, Deputy Chief Minister in charge Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Mukul M. Sangma, Leader of the Opposition, Sri Charles Pungrop, MLA, and Sri Lakshman Rambui, MLA. After a brief discussion, the Business Advisory Committee approved the draft calendar, which consists of 10 working days, out of which 7 days have been earmarked for the government business and 3 days for private members' business. Excuse me. I would also like to inform the House that in the Business Advisory Committee meeting held on 6th February 2025, it was also decided that on the day allotted for demand for grants, after question hour, no other business shall be taken up for discussion except demand for grants as provided under the Rule 144, Clause 2 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business, which states that on a day allotted on the Sub-Rule 1 for the voting on demands for grants, no other business shall be taken up before 2 p.m. or at 12 noon if it is Friday, except with the consent of the Speaker. Therefore, on a day allotted for demand for grants, after the question hour, only demand for grants shall be taken up. The calendar approved by the Business Advisory Committee is placed on the members' table. Now we come to item number 4. Sri Preston Tungsong, Deputy Chief Minister in charge, to move that this House agrees to the allocation of time proposed by the Business Advisory Committee in regard to the various items of business for the current session. Sri Preston Tungsong, Deputy Minister, Chief Minister in charge, Parliamentary Affairs, to move, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that this House agrees to the allocation of time proposed by the Business Advisory Committee in regards to the various items of business for the current session.
Motion moved. Those who are in the favor say aye. Aye. Those who are against say no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is carried and the House agrees to the allocation of time proposed by the Business Advisory Committee for the current session 2025. Now we come to item number 5, Panel of Chairmen. In pursuance of the Rule 9(1) of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, I hereby nominate the following members to constitute the panel of chairmen for the budget session 2025. Number 1, Sri Brining A. Sangma, MLA, Sri Walet Miki Shila, MLA, Sri Renington L. Thonkar, MLA, and Srimati Miani D. Shira, MLA. Now we come to item number 6. Sri Suma Balangdar, Deputy Chief Minister in charge Urban Affairs, to lay the annual report of the Shillong Smart City Limited for the financial year 2022 and 2023. Deputy Chief Minister in charge, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to read annual reports of the Shillong Smart City Limited for financial year 2022 and 2023.
Now we come to item number 7. Sri Abu Tahir Mandal, Minister in charge Power, to lay the 17th annual report of the Meghalaya State Electricity Regulatory Commission for the year 2023 and 2024. Minister in charge, please.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the 17th annual report of the Meghalaya State Electricity Regulatory Commission for the year 2023 and 2024.
Now we come to item number 8. Sri Conrad K. Sangma, Chief Minister in charge, Forests and Environment, to lay the annual report of the Meghalaya State Pollution Control Board for the year 2021, 2022 and 2022 to 2023. Chief Minister in charge, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the annual report of the Meghalaya State Pollution Control Board for the year 2021-22 and 2022-23.
Now we come to item number 9. Sri Conrad K. Sangma, Chief Minister in charge, Finance, to beg leave to introduce the Meghalaya Ceiling on Government Guarantee Bill 2025. Chief Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg leave to introduce the Meghalaya Ceiling on Government Guarantee Bill 2025.
Motion moved. Let me put the question before the House. The question is that the leave be granted to introduce the Meghalaya Ceiling on Government Guarantee Bill 2025. Those who are in favor say aye. Aye. Those who are against say no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is carried and leave to introduce the bill is granted. Sri Conrad K. Sangma, Chief Minister in charge, to introduce the bill.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I introduce the bill.
Commission Secretary to read out the title of the bill.
The Meghalaya Ceiling on Government Guarantee Bill 2025 is introduced in the House.
Now we come to item number 10. Let me read out a message from the Governor. Dated 27th February 2025. Order. In exercise of the powers conferred by Clause 1 of Article 207 of the Constitution of India, I, Sri C.H. Vijaya Shankar, Honorable Governor of Meghalaya, hereby recommend to the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly for the introduction and passing of the Meghalaya Goods and Services Tax Amendment Bill 2025, signed C.H. Vijaya Shankar, Governor of Meghalaya. Sri Abu Tahir Mandal, Minister in charge Taxation, to beg leave to introduce the Meghalaya Goods and Services Tax Amendment Bill 2025. Minister in charge, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg leave to introduce the Meghalaya Goods and Services Tax Amendment Bill 2025.
Motion moved. Let me put the question before the House. The question is that leave be granted to introduce the Meghalaya Goods and Services Tax Amendment Bill 2025. Those who are in favor say aye. Aye. Those who are against say no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is carried and the leave to introduce the bill is granted. Sri Abu Tahir Mandal, Minister in charge, to introduce the bill.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I introduce the bill.
Commissioner Secretary to read out the title of the bill.
The Meghalaya Goods and Services Tax Amendment Bill 2025 is introduced in the House.
Now we come to item number 11. Sri Conrad K. Sangma, Chief Minister in charge Finance, to present the supplementary demands for grants and supplementary appropriation for 2024-2025. Sri Conrad K. Sangma, Chief Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to present the supplementary demands for grants and supplementary appropriation for 2024-2025.
Now we come to item number 12. Sri President Tumsong, Deputy Chief Minister in charge Parliamentary Affairs, to move that in pursuance of the Rule 242, Clause 1, Subclause 1 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, this Assembly do now elect one member of the House to fill up the vacancy in the Public Accounts Committee caused due to the resignation of Dr. Mukul Sangma, member, for the remaining period of the term of the Assembly. Deputy Chief Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that in pursuance of Rule 242, Sub-Rule 1 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, this Assembly do now elect one member of the House to fill up the vacancy in the PAC caused due to the resignation of Dr. Mukul Sangma, member, for the remaining period of the term of the Assembly.
The Commissioner Secretary to notify the date, time and place of holding the election. Now we come to item number 13. Sri President Tumsong, Deputy Chief Minister in charge Parliamentary Affairs, to move that in pursuance of the Rule 242B, Subclause 1 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, this Assembly do now elect one member of the House to fill up the vacancy in the Public Undertaking Committee caused due to the resignation of Sri Charles Pungrove, member, for the remaining period of the term of the Assembly. Deputy Chief Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that in pursuance of Rule 242B, Subclause 1 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, this Assembly do now elect one member of the House to fill up the vacancy in the Public Undertaking Committee caused due to the resignation of Sri Charles Pungrove, member, for the remaining period of the term of the Assembly.
The Commissioner and Secretary to notify the date, time and place of holding the election. Now we come to item number 14, obituary references. Chief Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, in the last 6 months, the state as well as the country as a whole have lost many prominent leaders. Former Cabinet Minister of Meghalaya, late D.P. Yangju, who represented Mawsyngram constituency, passed away on 30th of August 2024. Former member of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, late Noberfield R. Marak, who represented North Thura constituency, passed away on 4th of October 2024. Former member of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly, late H.B. Dunn, who represented Nartyang constituency, passed away on 16th of October 2024. Member of the Manipur Legislative Assembly, late N. Kaisi, passed away on 18th of January 2025. Former member of the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly, late Baba Ziauddin Siddiqui, passed away on the 12th of October 2024. Former member of Uttar Pradesh Legislative Assembly, late Bhulai Bhai Narayan, passed away on 30th of October 2024. Former Union Cabinet Minister and former Chief Minister of Karnataka, late S.M. Krishna, passed away on 10th of December 2024. Former Union Minister of the state from Tamil Nadu, late E.V.K.S. Ilangovan, passed away on the 14th of December 2024. Former Chief Minister of Haryana late O.P. Chautala, passed away on 20th of December 2024. Former Prime Minister of India, late Dr. Manmohan Singh, passed away on 26th of December 2024. Member of the Punjab Legislative Assembly, representing Ludhiana West Assembly constituency, late Gurpreet Bassi Gogi, passed away on the 11th of January 2025. Former member of the Goa Legislative Assembly, late Lavu Suryaji Mamledar, passed away on 15th of February 2025. Sir, out of all of these prominent leaders who passed away, I fondly remember a few of them with whom I had the opportunity to work, as well as some of them whom I had the opportunity to meet. Out of all the prominent leaders, late Dr. Manmohan Singh ji, the former Prime Minister of India, was one person who I did not, of course, have a direct opportunity to work with, but I had met in a couple of occasions. But of course, as the Prime Minister of the country and also as the Finance Minister of the country, late Dr. Manmohan Singh ji had a very, very important role in the economic transformation of India. It was under his leadership in the 90s, early 90s, when Honorable late Narasimha Rao ji was the Prime Minister. The two of them had started the entire economic reforms for the country, which had then led to the economic growth that continues till today. And we are all aware about the large contributions, the very tough economic decisions and policy decisions that had to be taken during that period. Apart from that, during late Manmohan Singh ji's time as Prime Minister, we remember that he had a very, very important role in building up the nuclear agreement and the discussion with the Bush administration, and a very large role, in spite of the huge challenges, in bringing the entire relationship between US and India to the level where it is today. As we are all aware, before the Manmohan Singh government, the relationships and the different sanctions and economic relationships between India and US were quite strained because of different circumstances. But it was during the time of Dr. Manmohan Singh that very, very detailed negotiations and discussions took place. And of course, the then President of the United States, Mr. Bush, along with the Secretary of State, Condoleezza Rice, they played a very, very crucial role, and apart from that, many officials from our side played a very important role in coming to the agreement, and that is how the overall relationship between India and US improved. And therefore, Dr. Manmohan Singh has a very, very large contribution in many ways to the overall economic development of the country, and also towards where we are, at what level we are today, was initiated in one way by late Dr. Manmohan Singh. Sir, I also fondly remember late N. Kaisi. He was the member of the Manipur Legislative Assembly from the National People's Party. And apart from being the leader of the Legislative Party in the current assembly, he was also the president of the National People's Party in the state of Manipur. And I have had the opportunity to work with him since 2017 and I have known him very, very closely. He was suffering from cancer, and even in the last year and a half, I was in touch with him and giving whatever support that we could give during those difficult times. And I just fondly remember him as a very, very simple, very, very humble person, and a person who didn't have any kind of ego, and a person who was very much connected, I should say, at the grassroots level. And therefore, it was a great loss, not just for the people of his constituency and the people of Manipur, but it was a great loss for me personally from the political side, as he was the party president of the National People's Party. So I fondly remember him, and it is a great loss, as I said, for the people of Manipur as well as for me personally. So I also had an opportunity to work with late DP Yangju. We all fondly remember him as Baplas, and there was a time when we had worked together in the same political party. He had contested the election on our party, and during those periods we had a very, very strong relationship, because I campaigned at different locations in Mawsyngram constituency along with him, and got a first-hand experience for the first time to travel across Mawsyngram constituency, and I remember him fondly, and it is a great loss, as I said, for his people, his family, as well as for the state as a whole. Sir, I also fondly remember late Noberfield R. Marak. He was elected member from your constituency, and he was the MLA before you, and therefore we knew each other. I didn't have an opportunity to work along with him, but we knew him, and again, a very, very simple person, very grounded person, very humble person, and it is a great loss for the family as well as for the people of his area, his supporters, and the state as a whole. So apart from that, we have lost many, many senior leaders, like former chief ministers from Haryana and also from Karnataka, and other legislatures from different parts of the country. On behalf of the members of the House, I would like to express my deepest condolences to the members of the bereaved family and all the supporters of the departed souls, and I pray to Almighty that He may give strength to the family and to His people to bear the loss that they have had to have, and may their souls rest in eternal peace. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I, with a heavy heart, stand here to join the Leader of the House to condole the demise of as many as 12 very important and illustrious leaders the country has produced. With profound grief, Mr. Speaker, sir, through you, I would like to first convey my deepest condolences to the members of the bereaved family of these great leaders. They have served our people, the respective states to which they belonged, and the nation as a whole in their respective capacities, and have contributed substantially to the growth and progress and prosperity of the nation as a whole. I express my profound grief in the loss of these important leaders. Mr. Speaker, sir, out of these 12 illustrious leaders, I would like to first, with my fond memories of my association, remember the life and contribution and pay tribute to our esteemed leader whom we have lost, Dr. Manmohan Singh Ji, who served us in different capacities, even before being part of the political class. His contribution prior to becoming a minister in the Union Cabinet is therefore asked to recollect and appreciate and understand his in-depth knowledge about the wherewithal of the subject to which he was assigned to perform and fulfill his purpose. We recollect his contribution as the Union Finance Minister when the country was confronted by a very daunting challenge. The nation presumed that we had a bleak future then, and it was only befitting then to induct him as the Minister of Finance in the Union Cabinet. And we all know rest was history. How daunting the whole job must have been for him at that point of time. But then, despite the challenges, positioning the nation as one of the nations which could actually ultimately create a story of growth and prosperity in the succeeding decades by what he contributed at that point of time. The whole economic reforms and the globalization that positioned the nation to be active member in the whole growth story of the whole global growth story rather. I recollect many of the stories narrated by many of the successful leaders of the corporate world who have met their position felt not only nationally but globally. The story revolves around the initiatives, the policy initiatives of the then government, courtesy Dr. Manmohan Singh Ji as Union Finance Minister. Mr. Speaker, sir, his contribution to the overall development of Meghalaya and Northeast as a whole is something which reminds me of his empathy and connect with the life of people of different stratus. It was very easy for us as leaders of the state to seek an appointment and get an appointment to bring into his notice the issues confronting the state. I remember even while I was in the cabinet as Minister Cabinet, when we looked at the developmental gaps of the region with a particular reference to Northeast, he was prompt enough to embark upon initiatives, directing his members of the cabinet. I remember in 2004, when T.R. Balu, the then Union Minister MORTH, was sent to Shillong to have elaborate discussion and prepare a whole comprehensive developmental program in the road sector for the whole Northeast. I had the privilege of hosting that program. And with that came ambitious proposals from this part of the country, keeping in mind the huge developmental gaps that we had in all sectors, particularly in road sector. Given the kind of limitation of our access to different multi-modes of travel system, for states where we depend completely on road sector, And that is the time when an ambitious, comprehensive developmental plan was adopted here in Shillong. The Spatial Accelerated Road Development Program for Northeast. It was so ambitious because the whole east-west corridor, which was supposed to go through Meghalaya, didn't happen. It went skipping Meghalaya. So we wanted that all the state capitals must be connected with this four lane. Plus, all the district capitals must be connected with minimum 10-meter paved road with the nearest national highway. And all other important sectors which revolves around the economic growth and the prosperity of the state, with our focus on Look East policy to create the otherwise conflict international borders to become a border of prosperity and friendship. All these initiatives were compiled in this ambitious program. We were thinking whether we will get it, whether the Union Ministry will be so considerate to such an ambitious plan. But under his leadership, he took the matter to the Cabinet approved the whole comprehensive plan. That's how this huge investment program was born for the benefit of the whole Northeast. And all the states in the Northeast are beneficiary of this. Subsequently, look at many other initiatives. I used to refer to this MGA and REGS as the most effective financial stimulus in the nation, which has taken care of the wage seekers and did justice. I remember wage seekers from Meghalaya traveling across our Assam-Meghalaya border, seeking wages. Our minister in charge, Power, will connect with me how many people from our side goes to Assam as agriculture laborers, the mothers, the sisters. When we used to ask them, prior to the introduction of MGR REGS through legislation, the wages, 30 rupees, 40 rupees. That was the maximum wages that our mothers and sisters used to get as agricultural laborers. Justice has been done. Wisdom prevails, and the whole end result of the empathy with which they have fulfilled their responsibility is before us till now. Therefore, these are, I must say, these are initiatives which must have been guided by divine wisdom to justice, to the victims of perversion of justice. We know how wage seekers are to a great extent exploited by so-called wage givers. These days, even government is also resorting to this type of thing. But I must place on record that today, because of this MGA and REGS, the whole wages across the nation has been rationalized and justice has been done. And Mr. Speaker, sir, the transparency, the empowerment of the people in the true spirit of the core values that revolves around in our democratic system, the right to information, how it has empowered. Otherwise, seeking information has been completely within the domain of the respective legislatures and the parliament, only available to elected members of different houses, parliament, state legislatures, and autonomous district councils. But this whole empowerment of the people through this Right to Information Act is something which has revolutionized our whole system of seeking information and thereby enabling the citizens to be completely involved in the whole process of implementation of programs and developmental initiatives. Mr. Speaker, sir, I think we as policymakers must place on record our sense of gratitude and deep sense of appreciation for all these bold decisions which has enabled us to see the resultant transformative changes in the years that has followed. I also remember how the whole telecom revolution under his leadership ultimately positioned the nation. Today, with that whole foundation that was laid, we see every household holding mobiles. But unfortunately, he had to pay the price. Because at that point of time, nobody knew that everybody will look for mobile telephone. For any potential investor in telecom sector at that point of time must have been, something which were probably considered as huge risk associated with investment. But nevertheless, the government opened up the sector, provided so many support systems, for which he was accused subsequently and which was not defended properly. I wish I was there to defend him. Because who knew at that point of time that every household, both the husband and wife, will end up having mobile? That the whole telecom sector will become such a vibrant sector where all the corporate houses will look for investment as a most lucrative business arena. Today, I used to, in a lighter vein, tell that how telecom has influenced the lives of everybody. Illiterate mothers who have never had the privilege of going to schools have learned English languages. Network busy, English, everything in English. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, what I want to say is that this is one sector which was with utmost sense of sincerity, as I analyze, was embarked upon by this great visionary leader, but for which he was defamed, unfortunately. And somehow or other, he was not defended in the right earnest. Mr. Speaker, sir, from Meghalaya's perspective, I think the many footprints which substantiates his empathy and the kind of promptness with which he has responded to every request of every state. I remember when I met him as Chief Minister, I went with a long list of proposals. The media carried a news item the next day saying that Meghalaya Chief Minister knocks the door of the Union Ministry with a begging bowl. We never go with begging bowl. We always go to ask for our entitlement, keeping in mind the historical background, how we Northeast are affected by the adverse situation due to the partition. With all this porous border which never becomes an international border of prosperity but remains a border of conflict. None of our policymakers, irrespective of, with no offense intended, I have came across many prime ministers who think the same way like the media writes, that we go with a begging bowl. We don't go with begging bowl. What is the provision of the Constitution? The responsibility towards the states. It is a constitutional provision. So when we discuss about this long list of developmental programs, within 1 week, I got the response. Within 1 week, the team was here in Shillong from different ministries. 4-lane connecting Jorabat to Shillong. The Shillong bypass, the Shillong-Nongstoin Road, the NH44E. Then we talked about the rest. It came as 127B, National Highway, 401 kilometer, with the longest bridge in the country, over Brahmaputra. I saw, therefore, yesterday, our Honorable Chief Minister, Assam, expressing happiness about that. This is an offshoot of that particular meeting. 401 long road connecting Srirampur via Fulbari to Nongstoin, 401 kilometer, with the longest bridge over Brahmaputra. How much money? All these things were designed in such a way that you have the developmental program to connect this most difficult area where we don't have any other mode of transportation in absence of railway and others. Then you have all these special accelerated road development program, whether you talk about this Ranikot to Bakmara, whether you talk about all these other roads connecting, some of the roads which were sanctioned, we could not allot the work. Courtesy politics.
Honorable Member, please.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute. Since this is Friday and it is past 12 o'clock,
12.
I will extend the time of the House till all the business for today is completed. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. We have crossed 12. So this contribution of these leaders who understood the complexity of the problem of the people of Meghalaya and people of Northeast, I think we must always remember. And we should remind the leaders of the current dispensation also that how things were done and responded to us, how they had empathy and understanding. We asked for IIM, we got it. We asked for NIFT, we got it. We asked for MIT, we got it. So many. But it's worth remembering and to express our gratitude and deep sense of appreciation and thanks to these great leaders. I hope we have many more such prime ministers who speak less but does more. I remember Negrims, just post-graduation. But the moment we send a proposal, they approve and we have the undergraduate course. And today, Negrims has both undergraduate and postgraduate. Also the nursing. So, like that, many of these programs for the whole Northeast, we have lost a great leader who have contributed immensely for the whole growth and prosperity of this great nation. We miss him. I am sure we all miss him, but he has done his part. I hope we carry forward the legacy as people who are still available, who are still in circulation, do justice to the responsibility with which we have been vested upon by the people. I would like to, with my fond memories, remember the contribution and pay tribute to these great leaders of our own state as well. Badi Piyangju, a great friend of mine, friend of all, accessible to everyone, man of the masses, always humorous, shaking hands and hugging and greeting, extraordinary person. He has immensely contributed to that particular constituency, which is one of the most difficult constituencies. We all know Mausanram constituency, how difficult that constituency is. I am sure his contribution will all be remembered by the people who have fondly and respectfully elected him. And may all those works which were embarked upon by him but stayed incomplete be taken up. I'm sure we know few of the issues which were flagged by him in this August House, which is there on the record, and let us do justice to the desire of the people which were articulated so eloquently by these leaders during their time. Through you, Mr. Speaker, sir, I convey my deepest condolences to the bereaved members of the family of Ipyangju. And I also remember and pay my gratitude and respect for our Noberville Armara, who represented Tura North in 2013 and 2018. He was a government officer prior to joining active politics. And besides all the things that we know, I would like to remind ourselves of his passionate contribution towards environment. Honorable Speaker, you will remember they led one NGO which were utilized as an effective tool to sensitize the communities across Garo Hills, from Tura to Bakmara to Rongara, all those across the length and breadth of Garo Hills. They used to move during holidays and connect with people to contribute their bit in order to sensitize people. Today, Garo Hills, instead of the barren Jhum area, we see plantations. We see many people adopting horticulture as means of their sustainable livelihood. This whole change of approach towards sustainable livelihood were due to this aggregation of this contribution by many people, and one of these contribution comes from their collective contribution as that organization. Therefore, definitely we can understand their concern and the passionate desire to really contribute whatever they can for the overall progress and prosperity of our people. We lost him early. We see many of these leaders leaving us at the age of 80 plus, but we lost him while he was still 72. I think it's a little too early. We hope all of us will be blessed with longevity. We see many of these leaders going after 80s, and so that we can continue to contribute in different capacity wherever we are. It need not be as members of this August House alone, like what Let Noberville Armarak has proven by his contribution even before retiring and even before becoming an active politician. I also, with fond memories, pay my tribute to Let H.B. Dan, a senior man who has contributed immensely. We all knew him, a veteran, and his contribution has been in many spheres. I condole his death and convey my deepest condolences to the members of these very families. To you, Mr. Speaker, sir. And we have also lost other leaders, distinguished and very illustrious leaders. But these are all beyond our control. They have lived, contributed, and we are grateful to them. We express our profound grief through you and convey my deepest condolences through you, Mr. Speaker, sir, to the members of the bereaved families of all these leaders whom we have lost. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Any other members who wish to speak? Yes, Bak Swin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I am participating in this obituary reference, and I deeply mourn on the death of those 12 political leaders. But may I make a special reference to our late DPNG, who passed away last year, and he represented my constituency twice, and he was very close to me. I have a generic relation with him also. His village is very close to my village by 1.5 kilometers away. And He was a very tall leader in our constituency. He was a bridge between the different communities. And I remember when I was serving as an officer in my Mausoleum block at that time, when he was an MLA. All the Bengalis, the Garos, the Hajong, the Coach, the Khasis, they love him very much. I used to go to his place and I learned many lessons that he is also teaching me that you being an officer in the block, you should know how to deal with the people of the different communities. And he always advised me to exercise the implementation of the schemes irrespective of the different communities. We should see where is the potentiality, tap the potentialities, make the scheme available to each and every one communities. And I remember I have a friendly tussle with him once. I remember in the 2000, in early 2000, he asked me that I should take charge as BDO. And I humbly declined to accept the post. And he told me, unless you accept this post, you should be transferred from Osram. And I humbly requested him and told him that if you see that my transfer from Osram be a benefit to you, at your will. Then he was laughing, said to me, you have the spirit and you have your decision is from, you have a man of strong decision. Then he did not transfer me. I stayed there for many years in Osram block. And I'm connected with his family members. I used to visit his residence when he was a minister there. And he never interfered my works. And I always requested him, instead I requested him to see that the schemes also be looked for my village and my neighboring village. And he always did also on my request. So I deeply mourned at his death, and I was very sad at his demise. In his 6 days, in his sick bed, I used to visit him because he was like my father to me. So through you, Mr. Speaker, sir, I express my deep gratitude and tribute to his family members, children and grandchildren, to send my message. And on behalf of my constituency people, I give my tribute to him, and I wish that his soul be rest in peace. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else? Since there are no more participants, I would also like to join the Chief Minister, the Leader of the Opposition, and the other honorable members of this august House to express my condolences to the bereaved families of those prominent leaders of the state and the country who have passed away during the last 6 months. I pay my respects to all the prominent leaders and personalities in the person of number 1, late D.P. Yangju, number 2, late Noberfil R. Marak, late H.P. Dan, number 4, late N. Kaisi from Manipur, late Baba Jiauddin Siddiqui from Maharashtra, late Bhulai Bhai Narayan from Uttar Pradesh, late S.M. Krishna, Karnataka, late E.V.K.S. Ilangovan, Tamil Nadu, late Om Prakash Chautala from Haryana, Dr. Manmohan Singh, late Dr. Manmohan Singh, former Prime Minister of our country, late Gurpreet Gogi from Punjab, and Labu Suryaji Mamledar from Goa. Out of these 12 prominent leaders who have passed away, I would like to make a special reference to 4 personalities whom I had the opportunity and the privilege to be associated with them during my political career and outside the political career also. First of all, I would like to pay my respects to Dr. Manmohan Singh Ji. The late Dr. Manmohan Singh Ji was a Prime Minister during the time when I was elected by this August House to represent the state in the upper house of India's parliament in the Rajya Sabha. During my tenure, there was a small incident, not as small, but it was very disturbing incident which affected me very deeply. During the year 2009, in the month of June, there was an article in Indian Express which showed a picture of our Lord Jesus Christ holding a cigarette in one hand and holding a beer bottle in another hand. Being a Christian, it disturbed me a lot. And I raised the objection in the Rajya Sabha, in the House, in the Parliament. And I also wrote a very strong letter to the Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh Ji. And I want to share this with you because he took a prompt action to my letter. Within 2 days, he called me to his office, but he had to rush out. But he wrote me a personal letter informing me that the action has been taken against that. It was published in the school curriculum, school textbook, the depiction of Jesus in a wrong way. And that book was removed from circulation. It was cancelled from the school curriculum. And the publisher was arrested, and the printing press which published that textbook was also, the license was also cancelled. This was the action, the response that I got from our late Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh Ji. I went to meet him personally to thank for his prompt action. And he said, all members of Parliament don't need an appointment to come and meet me. My doors, my office is always open to all the honorable members of the Parliament. So this was my first experience with him. I could go on, and I also agree with our Honorable Chief Minister, leader of this House, who expressed his association with the late Prime Minister and also with the leader of the opposition for all the good things that he had done for the country and especially for our state and Northeast. So I pay my respects to this very humble and very gentle personality in the person of late Dr. Manmohan Singh, I pay my tribute to him and also express my condolences to the members of his family. I also had the opportunity and privilege to working with late S.M. Krishna. When I was in the parliament in 2008, earlier he was also a speaker of the Karnataka Assembly. He was the deputy chief minister. Also, he also led his party, Indian National Congress, to victory in the State Assembly during 1999, and he also was a chief minister of Karnataka then. But in 2008, after that he became the governor of Maharashtra, but after that he made a comeback to active politics and became the member of the Rajya Sabha. I also became a Rajya Sabha member in the same period, 2008, along with him. And we took oath of office together. But he became the Union Cabinet Minister of External Affairs. And I had the privilege of associating with him very briefly. He was so kind enough that during his period as External Affairs Ministers, I had the privilege to travel to more than 20 countries abroad, because he made special considerations to the people of Northeast, especially to myself. I had the privilege of traveling to more than 20 countries during his term as the minister, because the External Affairs has to give the political clearance for every member of parliament to travel abroad officially. So I also pay my respects to this great leader. I also remember late N. Kaisi, former MLA and minister from Manipur. I had the privilege of working with him together in the political party from which we belong together. He being a president of Manipur National People's Party state unit, and that time I was also the general secretary of the national level, and I had the privilege of working with him together for a brief period of time. He was a very kind, soft-spoken and gentle person, and I fondly remember him for all the views he expressed of how the state of Manipur should be run, and he was very understanding person. I pay my respects to him also, and I also offer my condolences to the bereaved member of his family members. Finally, I would like to refer to late Noverfield R. Marak. He was a member of this August House, just one term ahead of me. But we grew up from the same locality. His house and my parents' house were just about a stone's throw away. But he was same age with my elder brother. We had a little bit of age difference, but we always look up to him. Especially, I would also like to mention that he was a crusader to bring awareness to the people of Tura, Garo Hills of the environmental issues. And he was the founder member of the social organization called Asma Dungsma Rongsaljong Association. We call it in short ADRA, and he was the founder member of that. And I also had the opportunity and privilege of working with him together. Though later on opportunity and privilege of working with him together. Though later on
This is how a typical video editor works. Oh my God.
privilege of working with him together. Though later on
This is how a typical video editor works.
Today, we present a powerful speech by Palki Sharma, an esteemed journalist and thought leader, as she explores India's trajectory under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership. With a focus on economic growth, digital advancement, and international diplomacy, Sharma provides a nuanced analysis of India's achievements and challenges. Join us to gain insights into the factors shaping India's future on the global stage.
Thank you, Mr. President. Namaskar and good evening to all of you. We're debating India's path tonight, and I